aspect is that lately there's been some grumblings from the general populace that don't really have know it all of what exactly is going on, and
It's that gray area.
the gray area, because you have the general public and then you also have the vloggers, and I'm going to also include, we're part of content creators as well.
Sure.
That group in between, basically fighting out between each other. One aspect is because just recently, within the last month or two, we had an issue where a local family that has a YouTube channel, they vlog pretty much their daughter's entire lives and themselves. They have two daughters. One is actually just going into middle school and the other one is just going into high school. The issue came about when, during an orientation day, they decided to record the entire day. When I guess they released their episode on YouTube, and people who were following them, or all of a sudden it's exploded on Twitter and Facebook and all that, people rose up in arms saying, this is an invasion of privacy. Why are they doing this in a public school? Hence the term public school. We'll get into that later. They're saying because it's now going to give ammunition to school shooters. This is going to basically end the world for all eternity. Unfortunately, that's where the gray area enters. Yes, you have a right to record on a public domain or public space.
Correct.
You do not have right to video record within certain areas within that public area, like a bathroom, or I want to say even in a school teacher's office or administrator's office, because there is an expectation of privacy in those areas.
Well, it depends on where you are at. If you are walking the streets, that is open public Wild West, if you will.
It is.
When it comes to that, and as someone who may not want to be recorded, unfortunately, you don't have many rights.
Yeah, you don't have a choice. Well, no, you have rights.
I said
you
many. You don't have many.
No, you
rights.
still have rights. You don't have a choice. You can go up to that person if you notice them recording. You say, "Please blur my image out," and they will have to. A good content creator would say, "Okay," and then mark it, and then say, "Okay, the time code is whatever this is," and then go from there, because you've on video, or they can pretty much take that whole aspect out, that section out, and just delete it. But you've told them, I do not want you using my likeness, and they have a legal. I'm not a lawyer.
Yeah, gray area.
Yeah, this is a gray area, but it's something that we're having to deal with a lot, because a lot of people want to get on that YouTube train and make money.
Yeah, they want their 15 minutes in some form or function, basically, and everyone feels that they are entertaining and or have a story to tell.
Yeah.
Hence this podcast.
I don't know about you. I'm branching out, man.
But where it really becomes gray area is when it comes to private public property. So when you have a public place, like let's just say Walmart. So it's a public place, but it's a private business.
Yeah, it's a private business. And there's issues that a lot of people, a lot of streamers and vloggers have dealt with, is that they'll be approached by security or management, says, are you filming for, let's say, Walmart? And you answer, no, I am a streamer or vlogger that is doing this. And they'll say, okay, well, we do not allow video recording. Please leave. And that's it. In a story, you leave. A lot of people have said, no, this is public. No, you're wrong. This is a private.
It's an establishment that's owned by a corporation, and they have their own rules that they are allowed to establish.
That you have to abide by.
Yeah. Just, I know this is a little extreme, but it's along the same lines of, you are not allowed to bring guns into locations that say we do not allow guns in this location. It's same thing. You are not allowed to record in this location. That is a rule of that business.
Because you can walk around
no shirt, no shoes.
Yeah,
same thing.
You can walk around a park with a concealed concealed carry, no problems, unless there is posted signs. Unless there's posted signs that says weapons, alcohol.
Well, there's also concealed carry laws, but that's a whole other thing. But it's so when you get to the idea of a public school, because it's got the word public in it, people take it as a public area, but it's not.
Technically,
it's still something, because if it was a public area, you could go there anytime. Anyone can go there. Doesn't matter. That's not the case. You cannot just be some Joe Schmo that walks into a public school at any point in the day that they want.
Nowadays,
it is very much a county-run business.
It's a public school because it's in the public domain of.
And that's
the
where the gray area comes in.
Yeah, that's why we want to do this, because this is actually because I don't do streaming out, but eventually we are setting up to to do remote podcast episodes.
We'd like to.
Yeah. And the thing that we'll have to contend with is because we might be at like someplace and there's be people walking behind us in view. Well, if it's on a public street or something, they can walk behind us, no problem. Until we get say, I'm going to delete my footage. It's like, okay. Yeah. And we don't delete it. We just go along. We use it as content.
Where I feel the issue is, and where I feel the responsibility is with the creators, vloggers, whatever you want to call it. I feel the responsibility lands on their shoulders.
It does. And
that they need to be mindful. I should say we need to be mindful that while you may feel you have a First Amendment right, everyone has their own rights, and yours don't trump everyone else's.
Right.
And that if you, let's say in this particular case, about an open house beforehand. So that day is coming up. If you wanted to video vlog it, not just personal record, because that's different. Anyone can personally record. But if you're going to post this out there, you need to contact the school ahead of time and say, hey, we are blah, blah, blah with blah, blah, blah. We are content creators on this social media platform and would like to video blog the first, the orientation, the open house, whatever. You have to get the school's permission to do it. And then in order to get the school's permission, they in turn have to turn around and tell the parents and all the other ones that this is the case. Yeah. Here is, these people are going to be doing this, and they have to give that kind of heads up, because that's the case even outside of social media. Anyone comes into a school. I remember this back in my day of schools before social media. If someone came in and was doing a video, whether it was news, whether it was, was anything, if they were going to be in the schools videoing, right, even though it's public, if they were going to be in there videoing, you had to give written permission.
Yeah, because your likeness is yours. And if there's another reason why, because this all blew up, is because they make money from their channel. So now there's a commercialized aspect to what they do. If it was just one of us just filming
to show grandparents in another state,
there is an issue, but it's not as severe as if we decided to sell that segment or that video online.